So we're finally on day 10. It's hard to believe that tomorrow we're supposed to actually head home. I wanted to show you a fun project that I've been working on this week. It's funny that, as long and as hard as this trip is every year, it's great in a lot of ways because for all the time we spent here, the first 4 years of the trial, you really create a life here and you have friends here and you have places you like to go and things you like to do. And, um, now that we don't come every month, it's definitely a lot easier. But it is nice to come back and see people. And, you know, you, you become friends with people anywhere from people that work at Southwest to the hotel to the check in people at the hospital. And, when we stopped coming every month, I actually wrote a letter and thanked them and told them more about our story and about Hunter syndrome because while they'd seen us every month for a long time, sometimes you're just in such a rush, you don't really have time to explain here's why we're here, here's what Hunter syndrome is, and, just a little bit about, what we're trying to accomplish here. So um, it was just a really great time to see different people that we hadn't seen really since then, and hear what they thought about reading it and finding more about Hunter syndrome and about what we've been doing for 4 years. And so one of the things that I did was I'm such a dork in this way. I had a mug. I found this at Starbucks actually in the airport, and I had just a bunch of people sign it that we see all the time. Really, this is just people from the hospital, and just this is not something we're going to be doing forever. Thankfully, in a lot of ways, but it's just part of our journey, and we came here every month for longer than I was in college. So it's just great to have something to look back on and really remember a lot of the people that we've become close to. So our day today, well, last night we slept in the short stay unit, which is always interesting because I sleep on a pull-out chair bed, and you just really have a curtain around you. So, it's kind of hard to get comfortable. And the pump kept going off, and we had a crying baby, and but you just kind of roll with it. And so we did get some sleep, and they came in at about 8 for a blood draw there, and then we had to get our stuff packed up and get ready to move upstairs to the clinical research unit. So Case grabbed his pole, and he doesn't really like getting up and moving around, so we have to, really encourage him. But he was able to walk unassisted, holding his pole. Um, wasn't running, wasn't tripping over anything, and this is the first time I've ever seen him do that. So that was a really huge, amazing thing. And I posted some pictures on Instagram because it was really an amazing thing to us. So we got upstairs, and in the clinical research unit, if you thought the short stay was interesting with its curtains and pull-out bed, the clinical research unit is even more interesting. It's quite small and about room for a bed and a chair, and that's about it. And it's funny because back when we were here for the very, very long visits, and for several years, the clinical research unit was in a different part of the hospital, and it had each unit or room had its own small, very small bathroom and a sink and room for a bed and about 2 small chairs. So that felt small, but now the new one feels very small. And So you kind of get up and move around a lot. And add to that the fact that you're constantly holding your phone up in the air trying to find a signal. And then you're walking out in the hallway and then you're going 10 paces this way or that way and holding your phone and getting a signal and then losing it. And the same with the Wi-Fi. So, that's kind of hard because, you're trying to, both occupy your time and make sure you're, um, you know, letting people know how he's doing. I was trying to check in on my other kids. And so, yeah, so that's always a difficult thing. That's been a consistent problem there. But, it is what it is. And really, Case was happy. I mean, he was occupied. And my theme has always been if Case is happy, I'm happy. So I can't complain too much. And I did get to get out in this gorgeous weather we had today because I needed to go to a phone store and try to revive my phone. And it was saved, which was great. Only a couple $100 later, but I was just glad to get back all the pictures and things we've been doing this week. And so that was wonderful. And Case was happy and got back to the unit and was visited by three friends this afternoon. So three different families that were at different stages. One screening, one from the old trial, and one from the new trial. So it's just great to see other parents and talk and some visit that we haven't seen in a long while, and for the kids too, because it seems like these boys just get each other in a way um, that is really just amazing. And just to see them play and smile and kind of be silly and do the same mannerisms, it's just pretty amazing. So we saw our friends, and then again just continue to occupy our time in the research unit. And by dinner time, we were just counting down the hours until 8:20, and Case was really ready to go, but he was okay and in a good mood about it. But when they were ready to do that last blood draw and take the needle out, he was very, very excited and said, kept saying, 1, 2, 3 is done. 1, 2, 3 is done. So 1, 2, 3 means the needle. So, and he said they're going to put it in the sharps because he knows that a red container is a sharps container, and says they're going to put it in the sharps. So he was happy about that. And so we left the unit and packed up our stuff, and we're walking out of the hospital. And a hospital is a totally different place at night. I mean, it's just dark and settled and kind of very quiet. So it was interesting to leave and have it also be about 70 degrees outside. So it was warm and amazing. And we drove back to the hotel, and what's so funny is, I got out of our car, and for some reason, I just do this. I went and laid down on the ground, and it was just so gorgeous out. Just looked up at the sky. The clouds were really amazing. And then Case came and lay down next to me, and we're just kind of looking up, and just you just feel thankful to have something that's very challenging to be done, and just very peaceful outside. And something that was interesting that I realized while we were laying there was that I've done this before. I kind of when I'm feeling very thankful and small, I guess, I just like to lay down and look at the sky because we are kind of small in the whole scheme of things. But what's funny is I can distinctly remember after Case was diagnosed, lying face down on the ground and just, in honesty, begging for the life of my child. So it was just a very stark reminder of how thankful I am for where we are, and just to really be in an opposite physical pose to where I was 5 years ago. And yeah, just very thankful. And I think we came back in the hotel, and we're just happy and kind of celebrating for it to be done. And of course, Case is very thankful. And then, within a couple minutes, I read that a friend's son who has Hunter syndrome has just been put on hospice, and is not breathing well. And it just puts it all in reality. And I think that's one of the hardest things, has been one of the hardest things to deal with, is the fact that not everyone has access to it, and that why should we be the ones that get this blessing, or why should some of us, and then we still have to sit here and watch other boys die through this whole process, or be very sick. And I just throw up my hands, because in a lot of ways, I'm not in control, and it's just so hard to understand, how that works. And it's just very heartbreaking to, in one moment, be celebrating what's possible in this disease, and in the next moment, seeing what's happening in this disease at the same time. It's just a hard. So that's, bringing us back to real life. And tomorrow we'll go back to our more real life. My other boys are out of school. We're getting a snow and ice storm, I think, again in Nashville. So we're hoping that our flights can get out okay. I can't imagine Case if we are somehow not getting home tomorrow, because he's very set on getting home tomorrow. So please just say a prayer that we make it out and make it home safe. And I will update you tomorrow night about how it all went getting home. Thanks.